Friday evening with me. This evening we are working into the backs of the legs, so hamstrings, hip flexors and feet. This is a really gentle and restorative practice, so we're not looking to flow dynamically through the postures. That's saved for Sunday at 11. So, if you'd like to come into a comfortable seated position, we're just going to prepare the body for our practice. You can bring them to bowed angle, or you can take them straight out in front of you, anywhere where you're going to be comfortable for a few moments. And we're just going to bring the hands to the knees, lengthen off the spine, and then shut down the eyes. Just taking a few moments to arrive. So much can happen in one day, in a week, in a month, and a year. It's so easy to get caught up in everything that happens, everything that we are fed and read and see. So just take this time to disconnect. And by doing so, we begin to connect with ourselves. Start to deepen the breath. Using a nasal breathing. So we breathe in through the nose, deeply. And we exhale through the nose completely. Feeling that breath, that air travel all the way down to the belly. So not letting it stop at the throat or the chest, but taking deep belly breaths. Inhaling and exhaling. And then when you're ready, slowly allowing the eyes to flutter open. Keeping the hands resting on the knees, we're going to take clockwise circles round in one direction. You might like to bring the hands out to the side just to support you as we just open up through the hips. Getting bigger with the circles as we grow warmer. Last circle. And then change direction, circling around in the other direction, opening up through the hips. Stretching through side body. 2 more circles. Last one. And then we're rocking forwards, coming over onto our hands and knees. We're just going to take some time to mobilise in your cat and cow. So hands coming under shoulders, knees underneath the hips. Take a deep breath in. And as you do, belly button drops down, tailbone tilts, chest and heart open. Keeping the lips sealed on your out breath, we pick the belly button up, pulling it towards the spine, and we arch our back. Take a deep breath in and reverse that motion, moving in the opposite way. At the end of that inhale, we transition into the opposite position as we breathe out. One more time in each direction. Deep breath in, scooping through, open up. And then as we exhale, rounding the back upwards, we lift, picking that spine upwards. And then restart back in neutral. And step your right foot in between your hands. So we're not coming to a vicious low lunge just yet. You want to have about 90 and 90 on front and back leg. So we are going to make this deepen a little bit. We're just going to arrive here to begin with. So just take your hands to your sit bones. Not sit bones, sorry. The front of your hip bones. Sit bones are underneath. And from here, I just want you to push your bottom outwards. So really feel how it feels to anteriorly rotate, push your bottom outwards. And then from there, tuck and tilt the pelvis under. And in doing so, once we've tucked the bottom in and under, you should feel a lengthening down that back left thigh. So opening up through that hip flexor there. From here, see if you can keep the body growing tall. We have a tendency to want to slouch in these positions, so keep the body lengthened, keep the pelvis tucking under. And then from here, release the arms down by your sides, and almost as if you're just giving into gravity, we just let the head tilt over to the right side. We just allow the body to melt slightly to that right side. It's not a big movement, it's just opening up a little bit more through the left side body. Take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, just feel the body melt a little bit lower. 2 more breaths. Deep breath in. Exhale, sinking into it. And last breath together here. As you breathe in, bring the hands back to the hips and lift the body back up to center. Take the left arm high, lengthening it up to ear to bicep. And from here, we're going to keep the pelvis tucked under, so don't let the bottom stick out. And we're going to move the weight more into that front leg. So bring the weight a little bit further forward into that front thigh, front foot. Take a deep breath in, reach that left arm up, and as you exhale, once again taking a slight little lean over to that side. Take a deep breath in. And as you exhale, see if you can reach just a little bit more. And again, deep breath in. Exhale, reach. Last breath together here. Inhale. And an exhale to reach. Bringing that arm back all the way down. We're going to step a little bit wider into our lunge now. So walking that foot a little bit further out. We're going to bring the hands down. So you control the distance in between front and back leg. So make sure you've got a distance that suits you and your body. And then from here, we are going to just work through dropping the pelvis down to the floor. You can bring the hands up to the hips. See if you can take a little bit more in this position. Maybe you want to bring the hands to the small of the back, squeeze the elbows together, and just begin to lift the heart. So we are working through with our hip flexors to begin with, because often we think that we've got tight hamstrings, but actually it's just our hip flexors holding on for dear life. So really important to work through these as well. Take a deep breath in here and open the heart. And then as we exhale, just feel yourself soften into the lunge. 2 more breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Last breath together here. I promise this hip flexor is going to have a rest. And then on your next inhale, we just bring our body back up through to center. Bring the hands down and shift the pelvis backwards. We can release that leg backwards towards the other. And just take a moment to rock the pelvis side to side. Clicking and clunking is fine. Especially if you spend a lot of your day seated. Our hip flexors are constantly in flexion, so it takes a little bit to warm them up. Let's take a big step forward with our left foot forward first. And we're going to come up into this position with right angle and a right angle, so about 90 degrees at front and back. Bring the hands to the knobbly bits of your pelvis at the front and push your bottom out. So I just want you to feel what it feels like to be moving in the opposite direction. So push the bottom outwards, so anteriorly tilted, and then from here take a posterior tilt, so we tuck the bottom underneath, and automatically you should feel an opening in this area here. If not, don't worry, I'm sure you will in a minute. So we tuck it through and we really feel a lengthening through the side of the body. So then from where you are here, we're going to just allow the hands to drop, and then we're going to just allow the head to drop over towards the left. And then from here, we're going to feel the body just melt over to the side, keeping that posterior tilting in the pelvis. If you feel that switch off, you've probably stuck your bottom out a little bit. So we hold for 3 deep breaths. Inhale. And then exhale, just melt into this side bend slightly. 2 more breaths. Last breath together here. Inhale. And exhale. On your in-breath, hands come to the hips. We lift ourselves back up. Stay with the legs where they are. We take the right arm high. From the right arm being lifted, we make sure that pelvis is still tucked under, and we move the weight into that front foot. So moving the weight forwards into the front leg. Take a deep breath in and lengthen. And then as we exhale, feel that lean. Once again, using the arm to reach over to the side. Breathing together here, we take 3 deep breaths. Keep tucking that pelvis under. Last breath, directing it into the belly. On your next in-breath, we release that arm back down. Bring the hands either side of that foot. And we're just going to open up the degree of the leg. So one leg is shifting forward, you might want to creep the other one back. Maybe you stay quite high in your lunge, that's fine as well. We're just going to take some time to arrive. Maybe just take a little shift side to side, finding the body, getting some space. And if you feel comfortable to do so, you're going to come up onto the fingertips, maybe up into this low lunge. Maybe you want to take the hands behind the back, so you're supporting your lower back with your hands, almost like a variation of our crescent lunge. And then from here we push the pelvis down, inhaling to lift and open up through the heart. So just make sure the back is happy in this position. If you get any twinges in the low back, please ease out of it just a little bit. So we take 3 deep breaths in this position before we give our hip flexors a rest. Inhale. Exhale, push the pelvis down. See if you can slow down the inhale and the exhale. One last breath. And on your next in-breath, we lift the body back through to center. Take the hands either side of that leg, and we're going to shift that foot backwards. Take the knees just a bit wider than the hips, toes together, and sit back in your child's pose. Just give those hips some time to release, maybe shifting the pelvis side to side in space. So those of you that have potentially spent a lot of time sitting down today, know that that was quite an intense few sets of poses that we've taken the hips through. So just give your body time to move in the opposite direction. So we're now flexing through the hips, which is most people's safe zone when it comes to hip flexors. Take a deep breath into the back of the pelvis here. And then allow the breath to go like a heavy sigh. And then slowly bring the hand either side of each shoulder, push the floor away, and come up onto your knees. So we're going to open up through the feet, which is really important to do when opening the hamstrings, because the muscles and connective tissues run all the way along the back of the leg and foot. So we're going to tuck the toes under and sit back onto the heels. Now if this is excruciating for you, you can untuck and you can sit onto the heels, or you can stay lifted so we're not putting any weight on the heels. But really see if you can use a little bit of weight of the body just to really open up through the soles of the feet. I'm going to ask you to clasp the hands together just at the base of the spine so we feel the shoulders opening. So again, a lot of the time when we just stay seated at a desk, we'll round and we'll type, or we'll text and we'll round our shoulders down. So taking them in this opposite direction is a really good thing to do for your body at the end of the day. So again, really sinking into that weight on the heels. And if you're feeling tension here, let's take a few deep breaths. So we'll take 3 breaths, that being our theme this evening. Inhaling. Exhale out any tension. And again, deep breath in. Exhaling out. And again, breathing in. And breathing out. Well done, you made it. Release the hands. Release the toes, scrunching through, maybe tap, tap, tap. Allow them to release. And we are going to tuck them once again, but this time we're rocking the weight to the heels, so don't worry too much. Toes tuck, and then we push the weight back into the heels. So just really move intuitively through your body here. Maybe you'd like to rock the knees side to side, rolling onto outer and then inner corner of the ball of the foot. Maybe you'd like to shift forwards, dropping the knees, and then backwards, dropping the heels. I really think this is an excellent one to do. Anyone that does a lot of running? Anyone? Anyone? Just allow the calf muscles to open. So gastrocnemius and soleus in the lower back of the leg. And then once you feel the Achilles have switched off a little bit and the calves have woken up, you can sink the hips down, the hips up and the heels down, and come into a standing forward fold. Now let's be gentle with our bodies to begin with. So keep your chest relaxing on your thighs. So if that means you have a deep bend in your legs, then take that deep bend. Maybe you've got a little bit of a wider angle behind the backs of the knees. But we're keeping that generous bend just to introduce this position. Really be aware of the weight of your head in this position. So then from where you are, we're going to see if we can start to lengthen out the backs of the legs. You don't have to straighten them, that's just an option for you. Maybe hands are going to come to your shins, maybe they come to thighs. But we're resting in your version of standing forward fold, Uttanasana. So from this position, take a deep breath in and see if you could just lift your chin. So your chin is kind of parallel with the floor. We've lifted the chin slightly, and as you exhale, tuck the chin into your chest and see if you can gaze at your belly. And again, as we inhale, we just release the weight of the head, slightly opening through the throat. And then as we exhale, chin tucks into chest, gazing at navel. Let's take that one more time. Deep breath in. We feel the weight of the head drop, opening through. And then as we exhale, chin tucks into chest, and we round. Releasing the head back down to a neutral position now. Just see if you can lengthen out the backs of the knees ever so slightly. Maybe they feel a little bit more prepared now. And then from this position, we're going to take ragdoll, so crossing the arms. If you feel that you can, we're going to take a little rock and a sway. I would encourage you to do this when you wake up, when you go to bed. It's really, really relaxing to do for the body, and a brilliant full body opening for the posterior chain. So really being aware of the weight of the torso, weight of the arms. You can rest the crown of your head on your forearms if you'd like. And then slowly we're going to release the arms, keep the chin tucked in. We're going to bring ourselves up nice and slowly to standing. All the way up, roll the shoulders down, lifting the head on top. And we've made it. Okay, so we're going to take the right leg back and keep the left leg forward. We're sticking with the hamstrings for now. So we're going to come into a pyramid. So I want the back foot to be facing the front corner of the mat, and I want the front foot facing forwards. Now don't open up the hips in this position. Keep your left leg drawing back into the pelvis, so we square the hips off to the front of the mat. Now lots of you potentially might have either an inward rotation of that knee or a hyperextension. I have both, so I'm with you. And so for that reason, I want you to take just a micro bend to that knee, so we don't want to lock it out. It's not a low lunge, but I don't want you to lock out any hyperextension. So from here, we take a deep breath in, lengthen spine, and as we exhale, just start to walk down that front leg. So your hands might rest on the shin, maybe you bring fingertips to the floor, maybe you bring flats of hands to the floor. So as we come into this forward fold, there's a tendency to feel like you want to relax and push into that hyperextension. Don't give into it. Your muscles, your joints, will not forgive you. So just relaxing the body over that front leg. From here, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, see if you can lift your toes off of the floor, just your toes. And then exhale, place them back down. They might not move, and that's fine. Take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, see if you can lift something, anything, just the toes away from the floor. And then placing them down again. We breathe in deeply, and as we exhale, maybe you're lifting the toes away. And know that if your hands are resting on your leg, that's a lot for your balance as well, so be careful there. From here, just allow the body to melt a little bit closer over that front leg. Nod the chin in and tuck chin to chest. You have just 2 more breaths here. And then begin to activate the body, walking back up that leg. And you can step that leg in. Maybe you need to pour heel to bottom and just release. Okay, let's do that on the other side. So we take a distance in between front and back leg, other leg coming forwards, back foot facing front corner of mat, front foot facing forwards. Again, we don't want to open the hips, we want to draw that front leg back into the socket of the pelvis. And once again, we're going to play around with that knee. So don't push back, don't hyperextend, take a softness to that knee. And what that means is you want to lift the kneecap slightly. So lift the kneecap up, make sure knee is tracking in line with that front foot. Take a deep breath in and lift and lengthen. And then as you exhale, just allow yourself to release over that leg. So now this is quite an intense pose, so know if you come to the shin and you can't go any further, that's absolutely fine. You might feel like you want to hold on to something close by to help your balance, and again, that's fine as well. So settle into your version of this pose. Try not to get too caught up in how it looks visually, and experience more for yourself what it feels like anatomically, physically for your body. So we're really settling in and just giving yourself time to arrive in this pose. And once again, we'll work through with the toes. If your toes don't want to move in this position, do not worry. Just focus on your breathing. So together here, we'll take a deep breath in. And then as we exhale, see if you can lift the toes away. And then we take a deep breath in, we release down. As we exhale, see if you can lift anything up. And then inhale down. On that exhale, we see if we can lift away. Last one here. And then releasing the toes back to the floor. Keeping that chin tucked in. We work through with 3 deep breathings here, making sure you've not locked back into any hyperextension through that front knee. That's really hard not to do. One last breath. And then start to activate the body, coming all the way up and taking your time to shake through those legs. So let's take a little bit more in the hip flexors now because we need to give those hamstrings a breather. So I want you to keep your right foot forwards and send your left leg back, and then take a drop into that position. So your back heel is lifted, weight is in the front leg. From here again, stick the bottom out and then tuck the bottom under. Sit a little bit lower into that bend if you can. So from here we're moving in the same direction as the front leg. Just see if we can drop into that side. Opening up through side body, feel that hip flexor opening. Take a deep breath in. And then exhale, drop a little bit more. Inhale to come all the way up. Okay, stepping the other leg back. Other leg is back and we're lifted up on the ball of the foot so the heel is lifted. And we're going to drop into that bend. Stick your bottom out so you feel the anterior tilt, bottom pushing backwards. And then tuck under, so we tilt up and under through. Potentially you might have a little bit more depth to play around with now. Drop into that bend a little bit more. And then from here, take a deep breath in. And then as you exhale, just feel the body melt over to the side. Just one breath here, inhale. And exhale, melt. Inhale to come up nice and slowly. Releasing through, just take a shake to the legs if you need to. And we're going to bring the feet just underneath the hips now. So one ankle underneath the sit bones. And we'll take a deep breath in, lift the heart. And as we exhale, we'll just slide back down over those legs. So we're coming back into a forward fold, but I want you to feel how it feels for you now the second time round. From wherever you are, maybe taking a bend to the knees, see if you can wrap the arms around the legs, holding on to either elbow, or you might be holding on to forearms. This might mean that you have a deep bend in your knees, and that's absolutely fine. So know that each pose will look very, very different on every single human. So just taking a moment here to really open up through the backs of the legs before we come down to sitting. Releasing those arms, bringing the hands down to the floor. You're going to bring the knees down, and then taking your time, send the legs out in front of you. A lot of standing for Friday night. Friday night yoga with me anyway. Okay, so we're going to come into a single leg forward fold. Now you have a few options with your right leg. The right leg can either come sole of the foot coming to inner thigh. If you'd like to come into half lotus and work through a little bit more of a hip opener, you can take that foot up, lift across, and place the ankle on the middle of that left thigh. So that's a little bit more for the hip opening than you will get for the hamstring. So just decide for yourself what you'd like to take. If that foot is just on the outside of your inner thigh, then make sure that knee is dropping, you're encouraging it to sink down to the floor. And we're going to bring the weight over that front leg, so just begin to settle. I'm going to be here for quite a while, so I'd like you to find your edge, not necessarily going into your maximum where muscles are shaking and there's any sort of pain or discomfort in any sensation. I want you to just find about a 70% edge. So we're going to take 10 breaths here. With each inhale, imagine your spine grows longer from the base of your pelvis all the way out through the crown of your head, and then as you exhale, feel the body soften down. So breathing together with me now, we slow the breath down, take a deep breath in, spine lengthens, and then as we exhale, release. And again, inhale, spine lengthens. Exhale, release. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, soften into the pose. Deep breath in. Exhale to release. Another breath. You have 5 more breaths now. I'll take my voice back and allow you to connect in with how you feel in this pose. Last breath. And then slowly start to bring your body out of the pose. Walk your hands back through to the pelvis. Take that leg so you set it free. Send the leg out, and maybe you'd like to just allow them to rock in the sockets. So let's take that on the other side. Keep your other leg long. This time left leg bends in. Either left sole of the foot on inner thigh, or we can take half lotus and we can cross it, picking it up, taking that ankle so it sits on the middle of the quadricep. So wherever you are, just work with dropping this knee down to the side. I'm working with a relaxed straight leg tonight because I'm really working for relaxation being the main goal. If you would like to activate it, you can flex it up to the ceiling, but I'm going to save that for Sunday morning. So from wherever you are, just start to settle, bringing the body over that leg, trying to square your body off so we have the chest in line with that knee. And this is quite, well, I said it's like everything, so it is quite an intense posture. It is, so don't get frustrated with yourself if you feel even that you can't really move much past here. As with everything, a lot of patience and perseverance will come to find these poses comfortable and relaxing. So let's work through with those breaths. I'll count 5 with you just to really work through speed and depth of breath, and then I'll take my voice back so you can be mindful in the posture. So breathing in from the base of the spine, we begin to lengthen, grow taller, and then as we exhale, melt towards that leg. Inhale, base of spine, mid-back, upper back, crown of the head. Exhale, just soften. And again, inhale, growing longer, as if someone's pulling a string from the top of your head. Exhale. Fill the lungs and empty the lungs. 5 breaths on your own now. Last breath. And then starting to walk your hands back up through, coming all the way up to sitting, just taking time to maybe window wipe the legs side to side, coming out of that pose. Coming all the way down onto our backs now, we're going to settle onto the floor. I'd like you to hold your right leg into the body, so keep the left foot down on the floor. We're hugging the right leg in. And I'd like you to take a yogi grip with the big toe. So taking 2 fingers, peace fingers, behind the right big toe. And we're going to come into half happy baby. So for happy baby, we take a deep bend to that right leg and we draw the elbow out to the side, allowing that right knee to soften towards the armpit. Maybe you'd like to take a little rock just to massage lower back on the floor. And this is where you might need a strap. So it's not essential, but it can be handy. If you have a belt or an item of clothing to wrap around the sole of the foot. So bring that leg to centre and then start to straighten out that leg. You can either hold onto the hamstring, you can hold onto the calf, maybe you take yogi grip still behind the big toes and you hold that leg in position. So this is where you can take a strap and hold it around that leg, but as I'm doing, it's not necessary no matter where you are. So that's just personal preference really. So from here we'll work with 3 deep breaths. We're moving the upper body as well. So take a deep breath in here. And then as we exhale, see if you can nod forehead towards the knee. Inhale, release down. And then as we exhale, forehead towards the knee. Inhale down. Let's take just one more. Exhale, forehead towards the knee. Release the head back down to the floor. This time you might want to straighten out that left leg. So the left leg is long. Just see how that changes the sensation in that right leg. And then from here we're going to open that leg out to the side. So we've taken an external rotation. It might not get very far, it might kind of stay, a few degrees out to the side. Maybe you can take it further, maybe you can drop it out to the side and hold. Take your opposite arm out to shoulder height and see if you can gaze at that hand. We're not here long, but just really take a deep breath in and a full breath out. On your next in-breath, bring that leg back through to centre, bending both knees, bringing both feet down to the floor, and take a gentle rock with the knees side to side. Okay, let's take that sequence on the other side. So we take peace fingers round the left big toes, and we draw that knee in towards the armpit. So left elbow is bending, same as left knee, deep bend, and we're drawing it towards the armpit. Maybe taking a gentle rock, just starting to open up through. So after moving out of half happy baby, we're going to straighten off that leg, either taking the hands to hamstring, maybe it's on the quadricep, maybe peace fingers stay behind that big toe, and you draw that foot towards the face. From here we work through that movement of the chin tucking forwards. So take a deep breath in here, inhale. And then as you breathe out, nod forehead towards the knee. And again, inhale, releasing the head down. And then as you exhale, pulling onto that foot, calf or thigh, nodding the forehead up. Last one, deep breath in, release down. And exhale, nodding up. Inhale, release the head back down to the floor. And see if you can straighten out that right leg. So the right leg is straight, left leg is working towards being straight maybe. And then from here, we're going to see if we can take that left leg out to the side. So maybe it goes out 10 degrees, maybe 20, 30. Everybody's bodies and joints are different, so know that. And then take the right arm out, shoulder height. See if you can gaze at the right thumb. Just holding for one deep breath together here. Inhale. And then exhale. On your inhale, bring everything back through to center. Take a bend of both knees. Maybe you want to hug the knees into the body and give them a gentle squeeze. Tell them well done. Taking those knees into the body if they're not there already. Taking the arms to shoulder height. We'll take the knees to the left side and keep them up as high as you can. So knees quite high in this position. Maybe you want to use the left arm on the outside of the right thigh, just as a bit of extra weight. And again, we're going to gaze over at the right hand, Gazing at right fingertips. Allow your belly to soften here. And then releasing those legs, bringing them back through to center, keeping them tucked in close to the chest. Allow them to fall over to the other side. Gazing out at that left hand, right arm coming all the way on the outside of that leg. Really beginning to slow the breathing down if you haven't already. And then bringing the legs back through to center before stretching them out long, coming into Shavasana, where we stay consciously connected to our body and breath, but give in completely to relaxation. Close off your eyes and just allow the body to melt. Allow your body to soften. And just notice any sensations that you might be aware of in your lower body, particularly the backs of the thighs, particularly the fronts of the hips. As we've really worked through a lot in these areas, see if you can direct your breath to the spaces that we have targeted this evening. And as you feel your body getting heavier and heavier, you seem to just melt into a deeper state of relaxation. starting to deepen your breath and allow this breath to energize the body. Sending some movement to the fingers and toes, maybe having a stretch or a yawn. That's going to slowly bring you over onto one side, and then when you're ready, up into a seated position with me. Bringing your hands through to heart center, just take a moment to be proud of your body and thankful for your body, allowing you to practice in this way and for getting you through each and every day. Blessings of health and happiness. Om Shanti. Namaste.